Hello everybody, welcome back. Getting ready to roll off for a rookie Mazda MX-5 series race here from Lime Rock Park. We are on the Grand Prix layout, and I'm front of the back third. 12 cars, car number 10 qualified 8th. Just did not drive very good laps. Lap 1 screwed up, had to save the car, threw away a bunch of time, and lap 2 just really drove quite bad. Still probably a couple tenths off of my goal for this week that I always try to hit. I don't know. This far back, if there's wrecks happening on the first lap, it's going to be pretty tough to challenge for a podium. Maybe if not many people wreck and I can get through them somehow, we'll be there. I think for me, it's more about just trying to find the pace. If I can get clear track, there's not a ton of passing opportunities, so if I get stuck behind somebody, it's going to be a little bit tougher to pass, but just try to keep it clean. Keep the car underneath me, especially for the first 2 laps or so on cold tires, and just see where I come out. So get ready to roll off. Looks like we've got one not joining or starting from the pits. It's technically a free spot that way. Just stay here. If I can clear myself to the right side, I will. You can see the 4's already taking a look on the 3. There's what I was talking about with the cold tires. That's exactly what I was talking about the cold tires. The 5 did the same thing. We've got another one up ahead. 2 cars off track. Third car off track. I think the 4 just doored the 7. So I think like that, much as I said it was going to be hard to get a podium, we have literally just put ourselves into second from 8th. Just off of 3 corners. Wow. Wow. And I even screwed up and was somehow able to save it. So 12 is going to be the one to set the sights on. He's 4 seconds ahead, basically, so he got about the best start he possibly could. Bright side is there is 20 laps in this race, so while the laps are quick, I can try to find an advantage over him. More laps, it's possible to get there. I think trying to save the left front, or the left sides in general, is going to be key to maintaining pace. There's a lot of high-speed left-handers,
P2,
or right-handers that were on the left sides, as well as some heavier load for slower corners like 1 and 2 here. I don't know what the 12 is going to be able to do, but clearly qualifying in the front was not 100% important. I can get into the 100.7. I'll be happy with that. It'll still be a little bit off what my optimal was from practice, but make me happier. Chicane, that chicane I've really been struggling bad with. Just cannot seem to hit that the way I need to go fast. Underdriving turn 8 and 9 a little bit, but like I said, I think it'll help me save the left front a little bit.
101.26.
And if I get to the halfway mark and the 12 still continuing to pull away, then I'll start to push it a little bit more. Now, if that's the pace, I don't feel too far off of that pace and feel like I could close up. Terrible line through 3, which set up a really bad 4. But we are closing in slightly. Yeah, I just cannot find the right line through there along with the right speed. I end up touching either the first or the second to roll, and it just completely throws off the whole series. And I'm curving that too much as well. It's killing the run off the corner. I'm really trying to work on hitting the apexes and the corner shapes well to carry the right speed out of the corners. So I was trying to minimize how much I slide the car so I don't lose too much momentum.
You're a 10th off the pace in sector 3.
A little early on the throttle there out of turn 2. Turn 3 is one of those that I've really been trying to work on the line to set up a run down this part. So got that curb that time. And lost about 0.2 there.
B2, the gap behind is now 4.1 seconds.
Pulling away slightly, it looks like, as I completely forgot to upshift, which completely screws up turn 9. Turn 9 is absolutely crucial to a quick lap time since you go down a very long front
That's the
stretch.
new fastest lap for Lightning, 1:00.9 seconds. You've just done a 1:01.22.
Alright, so 12's got more pace than I thought. I've given up a lot of time, but 12's definitely pushing it. I had the rotation right. Apex a little too early there in 3. The only thing I can hope for is that the 12's pushing his tires hard enough that he ends up falling off later on. It's a little better through the chicane. Not great. A little bit better.
Okay, Jake, you're reeling Lightning in. The gap is now 4.3.
A little bit better out of 9. You can see by not clipping the curb as much, able to pick up a couple hundredths. Almost to a 1.0 flat. Probably could drive it a little bit deeper into turn 1. About a 0.5 quicker than the 12 that time as I over-rotate 3 early, which really sets a bad exit. Terrible 4. So forget being faster than 12 the last lap. Not a good 3 and 4 that time. So-so chicane.
New fastest lap for Rocha, 1:00.6 seconds.
7 lights up a really quick lap. As I completely botch 8, 9. Right side as we're pulling away from the 3. So no pressure from behind from them.
Your lap time was 1:01.40.
A little bit better, 3 and 4 that time. You can see how much time I was able to pick up
Sector 1 time is
compared to
good.
the best lap. Just by hitting the line. So-so chicane again. Trying to pick up the pace as well as, like I said, hope that 12 ends up wearing the left sides out and makes them slower when we get into the back half of the race. Picked up quite a bit of time that lap. We'll see once we get through 1 and 2 what it updates to.
Session.
Overdrove 1 a little bit there, able to catch it. Time we were almost a full second faster than the 12, about 9/10 as I again screw up 3. Push 4 really wide, get the off track, just tried to keep it off that grass, not hit the wall.
Pay attention to track limits, please, Jake.
So, this is why I'm still in the rookie Mazdas, because I'm still making dumb mistakes like that. It's just unforced errors. Need to clean up before I move into any other
Gap
series.
to Lightning in front is now 4.0 seconds.
So everything that I gained on the 12 just gave back. Well, not quite everything, but a good chunk of it. No big deal. We've still got 12 to go, so plenty of time. Trying to shape the exit of 2 a little bit better. 3 and the chicane are really my big weak points right now. inside turn a little too much. Probably underdrove 8 a little bit there, but seems like I'm about the same pace, maybe a couple tenths off of what the 12's running. Another early entry into 3. Kind of able to save it a little bit for 4. And 3 is still continuing to fall back, so. Way too much of both the first and the second curb there. Looks like the 12 might have struggled as well, so had I not done that, that would have been a good chance to pick up some time, but also means I didn't lose as much as I could have. Seems like if I can avoid stupid mistakes, start chunking away at that gap. 10 laps to go, we're halfway down.
Okay, Jake, that's half distance. You're looking good for fuel.
Shape turn 3 a little bit better there, felt a little bit better about that.
The gap to Lightener ahead is increasing. It's now 4.3.
A little too early, got the inside curve. Just really need to spend a ton of time on that chicane if I wanted to be quick.
Sector 2 is 0.25 off the pace.
7's far enough ahead that it shouldn't be a factor at all. 11 was on pit road.
That lap was at 101.32.
Little over half a tenth slower than the 12 that time, as I screw up 3. Try to carry a little bit more momentum out of 4, but you can see how much time I've cost myself there. Way too slow in the chicane and a terrible entry. Well, there's a couple tenths that I did not need to give up. Yeah, I'm going to need the 12 to fall in the face if I want a shot. Because I'm just not driving a good enough race on my end. At least I can still see him. 9 has gotten by the 2. You're quite a bit back from the 3.
You've just done a 101.33.
Really bad 2 there. Just way too tight in 1, which set up a bad 2. Getting some of it back here in 3 and 4. Pick up a couple hundredths out of it. Side curbing again. Just cannot figure that line out. Keep trying to make little adjustments and I swing too far the wrong direction. Maybe tire saving wasn't really a big thing. Maybe I just needed to push it a lot harder. That one coming out of pit road.
That lap time was 101.20.
It's the 11. The same thing again. Got too tight in 1 and 2. Feels the run out of 2.
You're reeling, Lightener in. The gap is 3.7.
It's up a couple tenths that time. first sector. I will take that chicane right now. It was about the best it was going to be for me. Just need to keep doing that the rest of the race. Late entry into 8 kills the run out. Too much curbing as well. Gap's now down to 3 seconds when we cross the line. 6 to go. Trying to use that curbing to help rotate the car a little bit on exit out of 3. Maybe tire saving was a thing. 7's got issues he tows. Couldn't repeat the chicane again. It's okay, still picked up 10th or 2. Trying to get a run. Looks like we picked up about 3 tenths or so, 4 tenths. 5 to go.
That last lap was a 101.15. Okay, Jake, your lap times are pretty consistent.
Consistency is what I'm going for.
You're reeling, lightening.
Not the best 3 and 4 are still closing up on the 12. So right now it's just about being better than them. Probably upshifted to second a little too early. Still knocking a couple tenths off each time, which is good. Switch curbing, throws me wide at the lift to save it. 2 seconds back though, and probably about a second and a half back or so from catching draft.
You're a 10th off the pace in sector 2.
Not quite as good of a 1 and 2 that time. Really bad 3 as well. Felt like I had the opportunity to gain a couple more tenths there and gave it up by not driving as well. It's like last couple times have been a couple tenths quicker than 12 through the chicane, so trying to take advantage of that. As well as these corners, which I think that's where that left side wear might be starting to show up. 3 laps to go, 1.7 is the gap. It's going to be a massive run.
That was a 101.31.
It's really tight that time through 1 and 2. Probably not the best line. Terrible 3 and 4. Pushed it wide. Same thing I did earlier in the race.
You cut the track. Keep it
Back
nice
a bunch
and
of
tidy.
time. We're gonna have to push hard at the end, and probably need a mistake out of 12, to be honest. Trying to throw that thing around 9 though to get as much of a run as I can. These last 2 laps, give a couple tenths that lap.
2 laps left. Come on, you're looking good for a podium. The gap to
Control the
lighten
entry
it.
to 1,
Is
able to
now
catch it, but it's gonna
1.9.
cost me time. Just self-inflicted mistakes constantly. I'm very fortunate enough to have been this close to him, but easily could have gotten to the lead, or to him at least, had I not made all these self-inflicted mistakes. On one side I feel like it's getting better, in other ways I think I'm at about the same spot as I've been.
Sector 2 is 2/10 off the pace.
The tire saving was the way to go, just not screwing up so many laps. Get the white flag, 0.7 back. Like I said, I'm gonna need a mistake out of him, honestly.
Okay, Jake, one more to go. Keep it together, we'll be on the podium.
Which in normal rookie races I would say is still very possible, but he seemed to be pretty consistent and pretty clean, so can't expect it out of him, but can certainly hope. Got smoke up ahead, looks like nobody is going to impact us right now though. Still catching that turtle too much. Able to cut a good bite though through the chicane, it's just not going to be enough. All those times that I threw away a couple tenths apiece all add up to could have been on the back bumper. Challenging for it. Still fun though. Finished about a second back.
Podium finish.
Jump out,
Nice
take a
one.
look at tires, and then see what all happened on that start, because that start was pretty crazy. So get the overlay off. Tires were 82, 95, 94, 96. So like I said, I'm always typically going to see more left side wear in higher temps compared to the right side, just because you have a hairpin that is, I mean, a little bit wider, longer radius, but that's a full right-hander, so that's going to load the left front. You've got 8 and 9, which are both high-speed right-handers, so they're also going to load the right or the left front up. There's just more heavily loaded corners that load up the left sides compared to the right sides, but probably could have done a little bit better to manage it. Maybe gotten it on the rears a little bit better. As you can see, the right rear showed a little bit higher temps in the center compared to the right front, whereas the left front was showing more temp compared to the left rear. So needed to quit rolling it over quite so much on that left front. I'm sure figuring out how to get through the chicane better would have also helped mitigate that somewhat as well. But yeah, I'd be curious to see what the 12s was. I think he already dropped out. So let's take a look at the start. Look at it from an outside perspective. Drop this down slightly. I can't even begin to tell you. Like I said, we started 8th. Was ahead of the 4 without realizing it. Pushed it too far wide, just drove it in too hard, lost it. Okay, so I kind of caused, I don't know, in a way. So we're going to look at what happens by me. So you've got the 8 who started 10th. Yeah, wow, so he got a really good jump. So gets a good jump. Maybe he jumped early. Gets by the 6. He takes the right side by the 2 to go by him. Yeah, there was one car starting from the pits. And he jumps on the brakes. Was already kind of loose. Had to check up for me. And gets into the 5 since the 5. It didn't really do. I mean, like I said, he had to check up. Like he was in, he was off, and then he had to check up again for me when I don't know how I saved it. Let's watch it again from my perspective. I'm actually kind of happy with that save. Like, got in there way too hot, just trying to stay on it, not send it across the track. So then the 5 loses it on his own. I think he yeah, he just drove it in too hot, and then tried to correct it, and goes around. It's a little tap. He comes off the track. It's the rear wall, or the inside wall. Let's go up through the field. I think this is where the 1's going to be involved in this. Let's see, drives it in. 7 slides. 1, he catches the grass and it sends him around. The 7 gets him. and then he gets the, I think that was the 2. 2 or 3's wide. Right, it was 2 that he ends up getting. The 3. Sends the 3 way wide. So then we're gonna go up and see what happens with the 7. Because the 7, 4 has to go really wide to avoid that, or to avoid the 1. The 4 hits the curb and just drives right like the 7's not even there. So, yeah, I'm not really 100% sure what that was about. That sucks for the 7. Like, he's just minding his business and literally just gets driven over by the 4. And then the 4 is going to get himself on the grass there, gets on the throttle, and just slides all the way off into the inside, or left side retaining wall. And that gave me another free spot, which put me in a second. So that's how you go from 8th to 2nd in like 4 corners. Yeah, really fortunate breaks. Obviously, everybody wrecked. Who knows if I would have had the pace to pick my way through the field that way, but just too many self-inflicted mistakes. Like I said, just not fast enough through the chicane, not consistent enough through the chicane, and then just too many off tracks and you know, wrong lines through corners. Otherwise, could have had a battle with 12 by the end. I bet you I probably had a little bit of better tires than them, and should have at least had the chance to contend for the race win. And unfortunately, just did dumb stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, some ways I feel like I'm getting better. Other ways I feel like I'm maybe the same or slightly worse. So keep working at it. Keep sticking in this for now, and keep trying to improve it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Love to hear from you. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.